Welcome back to The Mind is the Altar. Thank you for tuning in. Um, I'm going to give a little intel on what's the inner voice. In my opinion, everybody have their own opinion. I'm not saying mine is, you know, the top one that's right, but I'm saying everybody experience this inner voice in their own way and what it means to them. But I always take it as like, see, you're not alone and you're not your thoughts. You are the observer of your thoughts. The person who is listening to them thoughts inside your mind is the I am. You are like a receiver when it comes to listening to the voice in your head. So you're like, you get message from, from higher source, and you're like a receiver. You're receiving this message, right? Once you receive these thoughts, then you decide if you should act upon the thoughts or not. So, what is the tiny voice in your head that is always there for you? You know, the voice that spoke to you before you click this video, the inner voice that is there for you when it comes to make a decision. But sometimes you go against it, and you are like, damn it, I knew I should have picked the first one or this one. See, the problem is when we don't listen to this inner voice, sometimes we end up making the wrong choices because we think that it's just us thinking, making a decision. Most people call this inner voice the inner speech, and that's fine, you know. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. But in my experience, if you learn how to listen to this voice, you will learn that this inner voice is like your guidance, your intuition, the voice from God or your higher self. See, even if you're alone, the truth is that you are never ever alone. The inner voice is always talking to you, right? Guiding you, and sometimes it reminds you things that you were supposed to do that you have forgot, you know? So it's like sometimes we forget that we are supposed to do things, and we're out here pounding our head, going through, all our thoughts. And remember, you're an observer, so you're going through your thoughts, thinking what it is that you're supposed to do, right? So, but then when you remember what you were supposed to do, all of a sudden you're like, shit, now I got it. I know what I'm supposed to do. Did you remember, or did the inner voice, your guidance, reminded you? When we set in our mind that we need to remember to do this and that at a certain time, we actually send a message to the inner voice, to our higher self, to remind us that at such time we're supposed to do this. Then when you jump and sometimes remember, and that's your inner voice, your guidance, your higher self reminding you, because you had communicated with your higher self. You were in tune with your higher self. You communicated with it. You talked to it without even realizing that you did. Okay, this inner voice will never leave you alone. It's always chit chatting. Even if I'm right now, I'm talking in this audio, this inner voice is still talking to you. It's always there for you, making decisions. Sometimes, negative thoughts. Sometimes, positive thoughts. Sometimes, you get creative. It's talking, it's guiding you through your whole life till the end of, from the time that you wake up to the time that you go to bed. Is there for you, right? Guiding through the day. Sometimes you even talk about somebody, in your head. You and your inner voice having a communication, talking, right? Now, that is the beauty of this inner voice. I want to say the higher self, or your guidance, or the voice of God, or your gut, your intuition. You have to learn how to be an observer of every thought, so you can protect yourself from negative thoughts, because some thoughts are not really your thoughts. There's 7 billion people in this universe. There's like a whole bunch of energy with these 7 billion people. Each one of us will bring a different energy and different thinking, and we are all one. So we, believe it or not, some thoughts we kind of telepathically talking to each other, but we don't know that some thoughts, they're not yours. So if you grab the wrong thoughts and you act upon it, that's not good at all. Some thoughts, they come from dark places. Some thoughts, they come from the light, right? So you have to learn how to observe your thoughts. Be the observer. You are the observer. So learn how to master that by meditating. Because sometimes we are distracted by negative vibe to where we ignore our inner voice when it's trying to be in touch with us. Therefore, we miss a lot of knowledge and message from our higher source, our higher self, to guide us in our reality. And this one, I know what you're thinking right now. This one you say, well, sometimes I don't remember what I'm supposed to do at all till next month, till months and months pass by, or till the next day, or sometimes I don't remember at all. That's because your inner voice, is there. It's just you're distracted by this other thoughts, by negative thoughts. That's why you gotta meditate and master how be the master of your mind. Observe your thoughts, right? The inner voice, it is a message from your higher self, or from a higher source, or from the light, or from your angel guides to guide us in our reality. It's yours whether you want to listen or not. I will see you in my next audio. Feel free to subscribe.